And we are underway from SoFi Stadium.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
First carry for James Conner. And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Murray now. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. You know it's never easy to get Kyler Murray down to the ground, and to do it with a sack on their first drive, what a great tone setter defensively.
Oh, and no one's celebrating more than the defensive coordinator, because that's all he's preached all week long. Keep him hemmed in. Don't let him get into the open field and create big plays with his feet. To get him
into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Troy Hill picks it, and the Rams are in great shape here as they take over at their 36-yard line. So, CD, his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about throwing interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Give me radar.
Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On the jump.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Trap 60, trap 60. Go.
Throwing is Perkins. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down and put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Zero.
From the red zone now, Stafford. He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. but they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5.
Back to throw, Stafford.
That's complete to the tight end, Hopkins. And the Rams are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll run here with Akers.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Again, it'll be Akers.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal.
Touchdown! Matthew Stafford finding Cooper Kupp for the touchdown there. And the Rams take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is. And
he rifles one that's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Stafford. That'll be caught by Kupp. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Stafford now to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Carter. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A 3rd down gain of 19.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
On first down, Stafford here. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5 at the Cardinals' 10-yard line.
Stafford going to give this to Akers.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee.
And the Rams are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Akers is into the end zone. Touchdown, L.A.
They go I formation. Fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
For this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On second and 12, Murray. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Here now is second and 10, again from the 41. To throw is Murray. Forced out to his left. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Well, again, they'll throw with Murray. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Rams are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. throwing this many interceptions, that's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. He'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Throwing is Stafford.
Eluding the pressure right. And this is taken in at the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A gain of 32 that time.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Cam Akers
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Rams will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
An extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And no run back here for more. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Throwing now is Murray. And this will be swung out here for Connor.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona first.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Murray again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by David Long. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
wanting to risk anything here late in the half. He'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play. And my goodness, another interception. Well, he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go into the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? Well, the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on the way to a lopsided victory.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. So the completion good for just 3. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. To throw is Perkins. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Here's Moore on the return. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Murray going to try to throw on third down. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marquise Brown, 59 yards. And the Cardinals are able to cut into that deficit. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
Not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Prater for the extra point, and the lead is down to 24. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
18, pioneer. 18, Rattler. 18, Rattler. 60 Bobcat. 60 Bobcat.
Now Perkins. Escaping the pressure right. And the ball is knocked out. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
And they'll get this down to the 10. So the PI decline, and that'll give them a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
They'll fake it to counter. Now Murray. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Murray now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Troy Hill picks it. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over. Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. A give up the middle to Akers. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
On third down, Perkins. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
After the turnover, here's Murray. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Rams are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On the move to his left. Got a man, it's Higbee, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. On the handoff, it's Akers. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. He was brought down by Devon Kennard. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Off play action. Perkins. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
To throw on third down, Perkins. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down, and we go from one Matt to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Oh, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Andy Lee now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Good footwork at the 30. 54 yards on the punt, 12 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.